Hi, my name is Ilana Rosner, and today I'm going to talk to you about a super skill that I learned about during my career as product manager. I'm going to talk to you about the impact that the product managers can do through empathy. But before we begin, let me tell you how I got to product management. So as you can see, I started my career in development, moved to program management, and from there to product management. And why did I do that? Because I learned that I have two passions, connection and creation. In the development world, I had a lot of creation and I loved it, but I was missing the connection part. So I moved to program management when I had a lot of connection with the different disciplines, but I was missing the creation. And so I landed on product management when both my passions align. I have connection and I have creation and I love it. And this is why I'm there till that day. If you are like me and you like both, this is the place for you. In addition, what you can see about my career is that I work for a variety of companies. According to the sizes of the bubbles, you can see that some were large, some were larger, and some were tiny. And let me tell you that the product management job is very different when you are in a small company and a large one. So my advice to you is to try both and see what makes you happier and what is your passion. Now that you know a bit more about me and my career, let's talk about empathy. Let's imagine that we arrived at the land of Oz. We are Dorothy, the product managers, and we're about to embark on a journey towards the Emerald City. Journey will be on a road that will be long, winding, full of challenges. And on the journey, we will meet fellow travelers. Some will be with us, some against us. All of them are going to have their own agendas and their own goals. And the question is how we're going to include them in our journey. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of my group in eBay and our journey to our Emerald City, a huge new project. In this journey, we used methodology, a methodology of empathy. We used it with internal interfaces like the developers and also external ones like partners. And this was the key to our success. So let's understand first, what is empathy? What is the definition of empathy? Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, taking on another person's perspective and putting it into action. Dan Ariely is a known Israeli-American professor of psychology and behavioral economics at Duke University. In one of his known studies, he shows that empathetic companies are much more successful. The employees there are more motivated, bolder, and united behind a mutual goal. The results were so trusted that an established investment firm created a fund that invests in companies according to this model. And they are very successful. Their performance is 70% above the market average. Now, for this model to be sound, it was clear that empathy can be something that just some people have, or an attitude or a feeling. It has to be something that everyone and anyone can learn and practice. And indeed, it turns out that we are all wired for this. We all have what is called the mirror neuron system that is responsible for enabling us to understand and read other people's feelings and intentions. And moreover, with empathy, when you get to think about it, even people who didn't practice it in the past, even psychopaths, are capable of doing it. Now, in eBay, empathy is also something very common and main in our culture. And let me tell you more about it. 2 years ago, it's the beginning of the COVID pandemic. The entire e-commerce world is going under a change. And with all these quarantines and isolation, it emphasized to us in eBay our importance for our community and our customers. Some are depending on us for their livelihood. So we decided to come up with a new ads product, a product that will help our sellers to increase their sales velocity. This product is going to approach new markets and new customers, including some of the biggest advertising companies in the world. This new product, we knew, will require new infrastructure. It will require to work in a larger scale than ever before and to use technologies that our engineering teams weren't using until that day. When we began this project, we set the management and we thought how we're going to handle all the many unknowns in this project. And we decided to identify the main domains or interfaces that will be mostly impacted from this new product and engage with each of them with empathy. So what was it that we actually did? What we did was that with each of the identified interfaces, we practiced a simple methodology. It had 3 steps. The first one is analyzing the need. We as product managers are working with the interface to understand their feelings, their concerns, their goals, what makes them satisfied. And the way to do it, it can be with discussions, interviews, shadowing whenever it makes sense and relevant. Actually, every way will work as long as we're deliberate and focused on understanding the needs. The second phase is the action. We're going to take deliberate action plan to help achieve our interface's needs. And let me warn you, this might be it might require a lot of resources and investment of time, and sometimes it will be prioritized above creating another feature for the product. And the third is the impact. It's actually the natural outcome of the empathy and this process of understanding the needs and taking the action. The impact will be when we are fulfilling our interface's needs, and then the impact will come with achieving the business results that we are after. With this project, when we looked at the unknowns, we identified 3 main interfaces that will be mostly impacted: the sales and marketing, the partners, and the developers. Let me show you now how we work with the empathetic analysis with each of them. And let's begin with the sales and marketing. So when we started this project, we had kickoff meetings with every team, and one of them was the sales team. In eBay, we call them markets. I remember this meeting that we had, and I was looking at Sandro, who was the manager of the European markets. And he looked different than always. He looked distant, he looked puzzled. So when the meeting ended, I asked if he could stay so we can continue talking. And I'll not forget this look that he had in his eyes when we were talking about this new and challenging product, when we were talking about the new markets that we will be turning to, the new customers. And when he was telling me about this new way that they'll need to work now to achieve all these new targets and the crazy goals that we got from management for revenue and adoption, it suddenly hit me that this look was of fear, real fear. And I assumed that this is what his team members are also feeling. So when I overcame this surprise of, all the salespeople always looked like so slick and fearless. So the understanding was that actually what the sales and marketing teams are looking for is confidence. confidence in the product, confidence in their knowledge and their ability to deliver it. Once we understood that, we took sets of actions. First of all, we understood that we need to engage them with us from day one of the development. And so we established a core team that meets until that day twice a week. In this team, we have focal points for every discipline, every group. And what we do there is that we align on our plans, we solve problems, take decisions, get feedback from the market. And I could see how, as the weeks passed by, they became more and more confident. In addition, we took them to meetings with our design partners so they can hear firsthand, are the partners observing the product, how they are going to present it to their sellers. And this helped us crisp the messages that we're going to go with to the market when we launch. Third was when we saw that they didn't feel that comfortable answering questions on community boards, we created a team of experts. With them, they could bounce the answers before publishing them. And another example that I know that works with sales and marketing people is creating demo environments and also demo stores. A demo store is like an app store of demos, where you have a salesperson presenting in a very simple language with examples, presenting the product, and then the other salespeople can just mimic it in their next meeting. The outcome of these needs and action was super fruitful, very successful. With this constant meetings, we were able to create a feedback loop that was 10 times faster than ever before. And we were able in this way to bring goodness to the market much faster than before. In addition, when these markets were so confident, knowing all the tips and tricks and internal of the product, they could go to the customers and promote the product with them. And so we saw a 6-time increase in adoption in just 2 months. And this was amazing. And what we understood is what the product managers, our work is not done when the product is ready. We need to make sure that the people who feature and sell our product, the sales and marketing, are confident and understand the product. And then they can represent us correctly. And when they are out there, they need to know that we are there for them to support them whenever they need. Let's move to the second example of the partners. As I said, in this project, we knew that we were going to work with new partners that we didn't work before. One of them was a very large advertising company that we knew that integration with them will make or break our entry to the market. So we went ahead and learned about this company. We learned about their past experience with partners like us, and we learned that they weren't always that good. And we understood how experienced they were. And we weren't. We were pretty new to this kind of product. And we understood that these best practices that we usually use with our customers of SLA and transparency and communication, this would not be enough this time. This time we need to do something else, something more personal. So we created a very personal relationship with their project manager and my peer in their company. And we started talking to them to understand their needs. We learned about the internal culture of their company and the dynamics. And what we understood was that they are looking to look good inside their companies with their managers. They're looking to be influential in the company, on their sellers, and with us. They want to be perceived and be experts. And in addition, they want to bring business results. When we understood this, we thought, what would be the action that will help them achieve their needs? So we did a few things. We worked with them every time before their quarterly business reviews. We helped them prepare to these meetings and gave them as much information as we could share. We had integration reviews with them, where they presented the integration that they did with us to us, And we, with our knowledge and our experience with other partners, gave them feedback how they can improve this integration. We went to joint webinars where we helped them present eBay's value and the new product value to their sellers. And in addition, when it made sense, we prioritized their feature that they asked in our roadmap, even sometimes features that are not for the end user, just features that help them to ease the integration with us. The outcome of this tremendous effort of understanding these needs and actions paid off. And twofold. The first one, we were a new product in beta. There were bugs, the performance wasn't where it's supposed to be. But still, with the relationship that we created, they hugged us, they told us that they trust us to solve the bugs, and when needed, they defended us and protected us in their company. In addition, we became strategic partners, and they decided to continue and integrate with other ad products in addition to this product. And this was a huge success. The third and the last example is from the developers. As I said, we knew that we are going to enable new technologies to work in new scale and new infrastructure. We needed hundreds of developers to work on this project, and many of them were just recruited. And remember, this is the pandemic time, so many of them never met their teams in the real world. With this in mind, we knew that we need to think how to engage all those developers from day one. And we talked to the management, we talked to all the developer leads, from the directors to the team leads, to try to understand what will help to the engagement. And I remember Sandeep, one of the developer managers, telling me in these words, you know that I value you. And you know that the developers do whatever you and the product managers are telling us. Because you asked, because you told us. But listening and experiencing are two different things. I know about poverty in the world, but only when I see this child sitting at the corner of the street asking for food, this is when my heart is squeezed and I want to rush and help you. With the customers, it's the same. When I hear them talking about their pain and their problems, this is when I'm engaged and nothing can stop me. I had goosebumps when I heard this. So when we continued and talked to all the developers, what we understood was that what they're looking for is purpose and passion. They want to know that what they develop makes an impact on the customers, and they want to connect in their heart to the customer needs. They want to develop a product that they're proud of. Right architecture, stable product, that the next feature will be just like another floor on this stable building. And in addition, a stable and the right architecture and a good product helps them to get peace of mind, because they know that the chances to be brought on Saturday night to solve defects in production is smaller. When we understood that this is what they need, we committed to make sure that the developer leads will have direct customer engagement, either in meetings or via emails, to answer questions, to help solve problems, but to be in constant connection with the customers. In addition, in the monthly presentations and demos that we had for the teams and the management, we asked that in addition to the technical demo that they usually give, they will also present the customer problem that the feature is solving. This is something that usually the product managers were doing, but we asked them to start doing it. And we could see how their engagement and the connection from what they're developing to the business is growing. And you know what? This paid off, because we had different stories like the one that I'm going to tell you in this project, but one of them was very impactful. While talking to the customers, we understood that there is a need for changing the architecture. a huge change. This kind of change, from my experience, could take just half a year to delay the project in order to just communicate it. But this time, the story ended differently because the developers were on board and with us and heard this directly from the customers. So it sounds funny today, not then. But while we, the product managers and the program managers, were just starting, to plan how we will handle this, to plan the meetings that we will set, the developer leads went to a room, sat the whole night, and came back with a plan. And it only changed and postponed the launch by just 1 month. And this was incredible to see how this loop was closed. When we started from the needs, moved to the actions, and got this impact, how they reacted to the change, how creative they were, and the short time to market they helped us achieve. With all this empathetic work with the interfaces, we got to the finish line. And a few months ago, we launched this product, and it was a huge success. As you can see from the graphs, we were able to overachieve our very ambitious goals. So let's summarize what we saw here. First, we talked about the methodology of empathy, of empathetic analysis. We talked about the need, the act, and the impact. We as product managers, in the same way that we're looking to understand the pain that our product is solving, we need to understand the pain and the needs of the interface that we are working with. We need to understand what they need and help them get it. And this is what I called empathetic leadership. Next, we saw examples of 3 interfaces that we identified as the main for our project, but it's clear that they are not specific just to eBay, but to any company. We saw the sales who are looking for confidence. We saw the partners who are looking to look good and to influence. And we met the developers who are looking for purpose and passion. Next, we saw example of action that we took and the impact and the great business results that we were able to drive and achieve. To wrap up, let me take you back to the land of Oz. During our journey, we met different characters. The developers is like the tin man who is looking for heart. They're looking for passion. They want to feel the impact that they're bringing and to be connected to the needs of the customer. The lion is the sales. He is looking for courage, right? He is looking for confidence in the product and his ability to sell it. The partners is actually the scarecrow. If you recall, when he got to the Emerald City, he became the king there. And the partners are looking to influence. And what about us, Dorothy, the product managers? So when we implement the sympathetic methodology, we and our partners are stepping on the yellow brick road, and together we march toward the Emerald City. Now, when the needs of everyone are fulfilled, nothing, no challenge can stop us, and we can get to the business results that we wanted to achieve. The empathy is like Dorothy's red slippers. We have them naturally, right? Like the mirror neurons. And if we implement empathy in our day-to-day work, it will be like knocking the hills. We will be able to get wherever we want. Thank you.